This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Before taking any action based on the information provided on this channel, it is recommended that you seek the advice of a professional licensed financial advisor.
Let's do this.
All right, let's jump right into the charts here. You can see that we changed direction up here, came down here, went up, hit right there, came down, hit right here, and then we had our breakout. And breakout doesn't always mean that you break, up. It just means that you break out. So our breakout was kind of a flop, which was to be expected because as you zoom out on the larger time frames, you're going to be coming down, breaking out of this red wedge, breaking out of this orange wedge, and then working our way down, even further yet to here out of the yellow wedge. So this is upward broadening, upward narrowing, and then we've got upward broadening in the orange, and we're breaking out of the orange, breaking out of the red, breaking out of the yellow. This whole thing is going to be a move down. That's my prediction. But let's zoom back in again. Once this broke out here, we could quickly move this out to see what this new wedge that it's forming is. And now you can see that we have hit, 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 and we're working our way up to the breakout. So now where this is going to take us, we don't know. It could be another flop like the one that just happened. So to be able to tell that, we have to zoom out a little further. So on the 4 hour, you can see that we're doing this retracement back down to this red line. And obviously we broke down below it here. Now we're just kind of coming up above it. So we're trying to figure out, again, where we're going on the 15-minute chart here, more long term. So jumping up to the 12 hour, we've got the red and the green here pretty close together. Go out to the 20 hour, more of the same. So, we came down, even hit below here on the 20 hour. And then on the daily, we actually have, as of 8 p.m. last night here, when we closed out this candle, we have turned sideways, we've dog-eared. And there's still quite a bit of room that's in here. It's not getting really close together. So we have, a similar amount of room to what we had back here. It's not super wide like this, which is what, started really pulling this stuff down into here from a momentum standpoint. But we are maintaining that width. So what do we have further out? The new 2-day candle comes out tomorrow. But this bullish activity that happened here actually kicked the green up and the red up, which is a bullish signal. But, if this red candle continues to grow today, this large space that still exists in here will maintain, if not close a little bit. And ideally, if it closes, for the bears out there, this is going to come down while this goes flat. So it'll be bringing the green to the red, which is a more bearish signal. And then these candles will start dropping down in there, which is what my guess, I've already said my guess is we're going to break out of the orange, break out of the red, and then we're going to break out of the yellow down here. So this would go along with that narrative. The 4-day is actually more neutral. We've got the red going down and the green coming up. So they're both doing the moving. But you can see back here, it was really narrow. Then we had the major breakdown. Okay, so we're bringing these closer together. So let's say that they continue to do this, or even this one kind of stays more like this, whereas this one works its way down to there. So then we get narrow, and then that's when you get this massive breakout that happened back here. So I'm tending to think we're going to be doing exactly that, because this huge space here has now become a smaller space here. Specifically, how smaller? If I measure it out here and then come back this way and place it here, you can see that there's the overhang right here. So it's definitely getting narrower, just not by that much. Then another way to measure it is with our measuring tool. This is a distance of 7,876, whereas this one is 6,895. So there it is in figures. And if you look at the 5-day here, this one's actually bringing the red down towards the green, which is holding more flat. Now, this massive candle here actually gave this bullish run up here. So this is changed. It came up to meet the red, whereas, you know, back here, this did nothing of the same. It stayed flat. This came up to meet it. Now, granted, it's got a long way to go. It wasn't exactly a huge move, but this candle did make it move. So now if we get some red candles in here, this will hold strong or start pointing down while pulling the red down even further, closing this gap, waiting for that thing to happen like happened back here. And this is going a little longer term here. I've noticed people talking about this 2-week chart. So, you know, this gives the overbought indicator up here, and then it comes crashing down, and then you get the oversold indicator here, and then it goes back up, and it got right in here. It hits the first oversold, and then up here it hits the second oversold. So first and second, okay? Then it comes crashing back down to here where it gives oversold, and then comes up here where it almost hits overbought. Not quite, but anytime you're getting into 78 and so on, and if you're looking at all the other signals like the Ichimoku cloud and the Bollinger Bands and all that in the lower time frames like the dailies and so on, you're going to have seen something like this coming, even divergence. Then it had a crash down to here. I mean, its first indicator was here that it was oversold, but then it had another crash because it didn't even leave the oversold area, and then bottomed out there. And then we've been working our way back up. So people are saying because of this being this, that we're headed to something like this. But if you zoom out even further to the monthly, you've already eliminated quite a few of those overbought and oversolds. So, but if you go up even further to the 4-month, this is the one I want to concentrate on. You have oversold, run up, overbought, run down, oversold, run up, overbought, back here, which is the first peak, granted. And I'm not saying you wouldn't have wanted to look at the lower ones to get in and catch the rise to the second peak. Of course you would have wanted to. But I'm just showing you this chart, okay? This now has not bottomed out. We haven't got down here. And this is why I think, even though in the short terms, I mean, short term, I think you're looking bearish. But then we'll probably have another bullish run-up before we have maybe a slight downturn before we have the next like real run-up like we're doing here. So there's money to be made all the time. I'm not being a negative Nancy here when it comes to that. But I'm just saying this further, I'm going to say proves, but corroborates my narrative that I think we're going down one more time. Coming back to look at the 5-day one more time, all this black here, this is the Bollinger Band. So as they form this outer container, almost like a skin, you can see here where it narrows is when we had the big move down. And I mean, it continued that big move down, yes, but once it gets narrower, that's when you have bigger moves. Now, it's not always that way because sometimes it hasn't recovered from the last time. But you can see how wide we are here, and then we get a little narrower here. It's not much, but then we have the move. So this is not an exact science when it comes to that. I mean, you broke out of the Bollinger Band here, broke out of them here, you know, broke out of them there, broke out of them obviously all up in here. So it's just a general guideline, but it does carry some serious weight. The more that you use these things, you'll start to see that. But like I said, we've got them coming closer together here. And as this curves around, it'll still start to come up more, get a little bit narrower. There'll be more consolidation in here. Now those can be some, you know, pretty decent moves of consolidation, but it'll be consolidation nonetheless. And then you'll start to form something big as you get your next drop down. Now, I'm not saying we're coming down here to negative $8,000. You know, obviously it's stupid. But this line here indicates the $10,000 range, and it is actually the 84% reset that we did after the last bull run. So we haven't done this massive or as large of a reset from a percentage standpoint as we did the last bull run. And the percentage drop from where we're at now to where we could be going is 57%. So that's, you know, a phenomenal short. That's for sure. So for now, we're just going to, you know, wait this thing out, see where we go on the lower time frames. I mean, this is the 7 hour. We're still working our way down. We'll see if we come down, break out of this red, then break out of the orange, and work our way down towards the yellow. You know, probably, I don't think it's going to be like insanely fast. So I would say you might be looking at hitting the yellow line by later in this month. And then you could be looking at, you know, a breakdown to the $10,000 mark, probably some kind of a wick. So as you work your way down here, you'll just wick down and then catch back up to create another one of these, you know, upward channels as we get heading towards this outside purple wedge line, which is the resistance from this much larger retracement since the bull run, which you can see here. So that's the purple that I was just showing you on the zoom in. So what that looks like down, we went down. Come on, why is my pen not working now? There we go, down, up, one more down, and then we'll break up out of the purple. So stay tuned. I'll probably, depending on what happens today, I'll get a couple more videos up today, and I'm going to start looking at some other coins and getting those videos put up too. But with Bitcoin being king, a lot of this is going to come down to what she's doing. Although I did just say king, and then I did just say she, but you get the fucking point. So we need to watch what Bitcoin's doing to find out what the rest of the market's doing. So have a good day, guys, and if I talk to you later, you know, I'll see you at that time.